Paul Sakis, Good News Broadcast, speaking of Brian Molitor. Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing great, Paul.
Good. I have a book in front of me. It's called Winwin, Organizational Success Through the Power of Achievement. Okay. That means someone actually has to do something?
It's power of agreement.
Well, how about achieving your agreement? Oh, my God. It's the heat, Brian. It's the heat.
I know. It's a long day, too, bro.
It's my birthday, even.
Well, happy birthday. You need some agreement on your birthday, man.
There we go. All right. Well, my grandson sang to me, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you're off to a good start. Now, the power of agreement, it's amazing what can transpire when you get people working together and agreeing around common vision, common mission, common values. It's really phenomenal what can take place.
You know, you have on the cover of your book, it seems to me you have some people who are rowing together. I guess I don't know if they're rowing or fishing or what are they doing?
They're rowing. Yeah, okay. They're rowing. It's one of those little skinny boats, so they're sculling. I did a radio interview a few weeks ago, and the guy said, "Yeah, you've got a skull on the front of your book." I thought, well, let's clarify that, sir.
I literally have from our company here. I have one of the the Nordic boats, you know, with 20 people rowing.
Yeah, sure.
And I got it. I found this a piece of artwork, actually, and somebody at the helm, and I found it at Goodwill, and I've been using that as symbolic for running this company, because everybody got to put the oar in sort of the same time and be happy about it. What are some of the things that it takes? So what's the book have to say?
Well, this book, it chronicles 25 years of my working in the field of organizational development, leadership training, team building, strategic planning, and the like. During that 25 years, we've been throughout the world. We've worked with some of the Fortune 500 companies. We've worked with international governments. We've worked with big business, religious institutions, etc. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to put down the fundamental things that we've learned over that quarter century. And so I put lots of case studies in here and the keys to organizational success. The reason I did it is everybody's part of an organization, and the most common denominator is your family, and from there it goes to generally folks are working. They're in civic organizations, religious institutions, they're in community and neighborhood organizations, and those organizations are successful to a degree. And organizations are pretty much the same. They have a vision, they have a mission, they have values, they have fundamental relationships. And when you understand what those basic building blocks of a healthy organization are, you can be very successful.
Okay. Now, is it a lot depend upon the openness of the CEO or the leader of the organization?
Yeah, I think that one of the roadblocks that we identify most often in organizations is a lack of leadership commitment. And this can be dad and mom in a home. It may be the CEO, the top administrator, the principal of the school, the president of the nation, the governor of the state. The people at the top, they have the power to make right decisions. They have the power to make wrong decisions, and of course they have the power to make no decision. And Paul, what we focus on a lot in my work is that every organization has a culture. And you'll get a culture by design or you'll get one by default, and it makes sense that we develop the kind of culture that we want by design.
Okay, so how do you start? Where do you start? Read your book is one way, right?
Yeah, you have to buy 300 copies of the book apiece. Now, what you do, every organization has a vision. In other words, it exists for a purpose, and you have to clarify what is that purpose. And again, with 25 years experience, we were doing vision statements and mission statements before it was in vogue for everybody to have one on their wall collecting dust. But it starts with, what is the organization here for? And so if we've got parents listening, husbands and wives listening, heads of households, why does the household exist? The next thing that needs to be clarified is, what are the values that the members of the organization are going to live and lead by? What are the values? Are they going to respect each other? Are they going to harass each other? Are they going to, is arguing the order of the day, or do we work things through like mature adults? And so on. The third fundamental is that of productive relationships. And so if you have a clear vision, clearly established values, and you begin to build or continue to build productive relationships, your organization has a good chance of being successful.
Mm-hmm. How, when there's different kinds of organizations, there's service, there's product, does that have any bearing?
It really doesn't, because we have service organizations, we have manufacturing, production, we have government organizations, we have information organizations, and the common denominator for them all is that they all function with people. Even research scientists, the mad scientist slide rule guys, they still are part of a team, although they may be off to the side. All the rest of us, hospitals, high schools, radio stations, it doesn't matter. There's a human element to this thing. And it's been fun for all these years to, we get calls, and companies will say, well, come in and help us, make us more productive, help our quality, help our relationships. And then they always finish with, but we're different. We're different. And we've helped 4,000 member hospitals merge with other hospitals. And people in healthcare, oh, but Brian, we're different. In manufacturing, oh, but we're different. And I smile and nod and go, yes, certainly you are. And then say, tell me about your vision, tell me about your values, tell me about your relationships, tell me about your communications. And what we find is they're really, at a base level, all the same.
I like the way you put this book together. You have these change engines perceive things as they should be, not as they are. You have little quotes here. We become frustrated when we have to wait for anything today. That is true. It seems, for some, for most, right? Especially in business, right?
Oh, we hate it. We hate it. In fact, those quotes, they come right off the pages of the book, and that quote comes out of a little story I tell about burning my mouth on soup every time I order at the restaurant because I don't want to wait for it to cool,
Okay.
So yeah, that's how we are. We want it, and we want it now. But when you're dealing with the human side of the equation, whatever the organization is, people change at different rates, and you can't rush change. You have to. I've had people, frustrated managers and leaders, say, well, how many times do I have to explain this? And they said, well, to the point of understanding. It's not a matter of how many times, it's a matter of to the point of understanding. That's why we communicate in the first place.
Okay, makes good sense here. This is an interesting concept. The more we ask employees to specialize, the more they need to see the big picture. So, in other words, you're making the widget, but if it's not understood why you're making the widget or how it fits into the corporate structure, does it get kind of boring for someone?
Well, it gets boring, and frankly, we get new people, and we'll bring them into a job. I don't care if it's a clerical job or they're an assistant to a radio host or whatever. And we just say, well, here's the job. Well, if they don't understand the job, the best they can do is simply do what we told them to do. And that works just dandy until something changes or something out of the ordinary happens. And if we haven't prepared people for that, for those changes, then they don't think. And I talk in terms of we can have people's hands, or we can have their hands, their heads, and their hearts. And you want to give people that sense that what they do, no matter how small it may seem, is part of the overall vision, and that they can do that part according to the values, and they can do it in vital relationship with those around them. And when you have those things in place, then people feel like, yeah, it matters. We don't all have to be making scientific breakthroughs every day. The reality is some of our jobs can be a bit boring. But if I feel that I'm part of the team and part of the whole, I'll do a good job for you, and I'll put my head on the pillow tonight, and I'll come back and do it again tomorrow.
The book is broken down into these following parts. Laying the foundation for success. Part 2 is building a positive culture. 3 is purpose and direction. 4 is developing human side of the organization's equation. And then the last is keeping the dream alive. You were talking about dreams. What's the Malachi Global Foundation?
Oh, the Malachi Global Foundation. This was an offshoot of Molitor International. Molitor International is the for-profit side of my life. The Malachi Global Foundation is a nonprofit I started about 5 years ago. And I work a lot in organizations relating to relationships. And one of the most vital relationships that I found was suffering was that of the relationship between parents and their children. And so Malachi Global Foundation seeks to help, especially dads, really connect with their sons and their daughters. And so we do a lot of conferences, we do seminars. I've written a couple of books on the subject of mentoring and blessing and modern-day rites of passage. And it's been a wonderful experience. It's taken me around the world, did 2 speaking tours on it in Australia last year. And it's been great fun and a really neat addition to the for-profit side of my life.
Okay, sounds good. Well, congratulations with the book here. It's very important, a lot of the thoughts you have here. I love just every page has something. The most crucial area for a leader to focus upon is the attitude of his or her heart.
Yeah.
That's very, very, in fact, I quote a lot the Little Prince, if you know that book by Exupéry, where in the world of media, he said something like, it's only with thy own heart can one see rightly. Meaning that, in my mind, that, with the world of media that we're involved with, a lot of people actually think that a lot of these movies and TV and all this stuff, it's still someone's opinion of the situation, right? Newspapers, and you got to kind of follow your own heart, and that's the right place, right?
Good for you. Yeah, it's exactly right.
That's the good for you. I was where I'm coming here, and that you see that, right?
I see it. It's how I've lived. We're not a typical company. We go, we're invited. What's been awesome is by following my heart and wanting to help organizations. 25 years ago we got started. You know what? We've never had to do any sales calls, no marketing, and we've had enough customers for all of that time, and then enough time and a little bit of money left over to do the nonprofit to be able to minister and speak into families. So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong if you follow your heart.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Well, congratulations once again. Win, win, win. Organizational success through the power of agreement. Take care. Thank you, Brian. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.